Manchester City football club. This is called the City of Manchester Stadium, and it's also known as Eastlands as well. And the stadium was built for the 2002 Commonwealth Games that took place that summer. The foundation stone was laid in December 1999 by the Prime Minister at the time, Tony Blair. The stadium just took over 2 years to build. During the Commonwealth Games, there used to be a running track for the athletes to compete on. The height of the running track in the stadium was just below level 2 seating. If you just look over to the corner there, below level 2, you've got the blue signs with the white writing on. You've got Thomas Cook Sport, Jaguar, Etihad Airways, you've got an umbrella sign as well. Just below there, that's where the running track was. That went all the way around. In the centre you had a field for such events as javelin and shot put. So during the Commonwealth Games there was only 2 tiers at the sides, one behind the goal over there, and this stand that we're in now didn't even exist. It was just scaffolding seating, and there was no roof cover on this side of the stadium. So after the games we had to change it from an athletic stadium to a football stadium. That took us around about 1 year to do. The major adjustment was to dig down 10 metres from the height of the running track, bring all the earth out in big diggers and trucks where the temporary stand was here. That then created level 1 seating area. We also built this stand and brought the roof across, bringing the capacity now to just under 48,000. And that's the 5th largest in the Premiership. Does anyone know who's got the largest ground? Okay, now the biggest attendance in here for a football game is the last game of last season. Okay, and that was against Tottenham. But the attendance in here was 47,380 people. Largest non-footballing attendance is 60,000 people, and that's when Oasis and Take That play music concerts here. We've had the Foo Fighters here, Bon Jovi, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. U2 are playing a concert here as well. When we hold concerts, what we do is remove all the lower seats that are in the north stand just here, rest the stage onto the stand. The stage does overlap onto the pitch, up to where the goal line is. We then cover the pitch with reinforced plastic, and we can get 20,000 people stood on the pitch for a concert. The rest doesn't go on the stands. As well as the concerts, one summer the boxer Ricky Hatton, you heard Ricky Hatton before, the City fan, he had a boxing fight here. So he put his boxing ring in the centre circle, put seating on the pitch. Now just over 56,000 people in the stadium to watch the fight. Now when the stadium was built for the Commonwealth Games, it cost £150 million, and we didn't contribute anything towards it. All the money came from Manchester City Council, Sports England, and it was lottery funded as well. The reason we didn't contribute to it at that point is because we don't actually own the stadium, and we still don't. We actually rent it from the council. So when we moved here, we had a 250-year lease. We had to give the council the old stadium, which was called Main Road, in exchange for using this one. Though we did get some money, okay? And once we've got 34,000 people through the turnstiles here, we have to then start giving the council a small percentage of the admission price, okay? So the higher the attendance goes, the less the percentage is. As you probably know, our owners are very wealthy people. There's always lots of rumours going around the club. And as I say, we're very wealthy at the moment, and we've just signed a deal with the council for £1 billion. That's to do up the area that surrounds the stadium, so it's got hotels, bars, restaurants, a new training complex for the players of the academy. And as part of that deal, what we're going to do in the future is build up behind each goal to make it 3 tiers all the way around. That would look very similar to Arsenal's ground, the Emirates Stadium.
Are these things on the pitch? Are they dryers or are they lights or what?
Yeah, the machines on the pitch, basically, as you know, in the winter in Manchester, we don't normally get any sunlight, and the pitch needs sunlight to help it grow.
On the lights?
So we put them on, basically it makes the grass grow 20 to 25% quicker than if we didn't have them, which is why you'll get a decent looking pitch all the way throughout the season. Now, if you go back to the 70s and the 80s when we didn't have that kind of technology, during the winter we just love that. Okay. What's that? Now, when the new owners came, we only had one of these big machines here, and these small ones just down here for the goal areas. When the new owners came, we said, "No, come on, let's do it properly." So as you can see, we've got enough now to put one half of the pitch. Now, during the winter, in December, January, February, they will be left on for 24 hours a day. and then the next day they'll be pushed to the other end of the pitch, and that's up to another 24 hours. When they're all switched on, that's nearly enough power to be consumed to power a small housing estate. Okay? So I won't fancy paying the lecky bill, alright? But that's why we... As they arrive in here, the table will be set out for a buffet type meal going up to a 5-course meal, depending on which package they choose. They also get a match programme each as well. Get their own waiter or waitress, so they're not waiting around for the boxes to be served. Now, after speaking to other sports clubs, we felt, and they felt, that their executives lost an awful lot of the atmosphere from having to sit behind the glass and watch the game, which you've got to do at a lot of the older stadiums in England, like Anfield, Goodison Park. Most of the boxes down the road at Old Trafford, you have to sit behind the glass. With us though, you get the balcony just outside, so them seats are just for you in here. No one will be walking past there, and as you can see, they're slightly better than the plastic one that I was sat on yesterday. If it is too cold outside though, do come and watch the game on the TV. If we're not on the major sports channels, we've got our own TV channel which will show you all the action and all the replays. Big companies do tend to own the boxes, they do cost an awful lot of money, but they can use it any day throughout the footballing season. So they can come in here to do meetings, training days and interviews. Though at the end of the footballing season they don't get in. Just behind the goals over there, for your full season, which includes Premiership games and domestic cup games, on the cheapest package it'll cost you £25,000. Okay? Ranging up to £65,000 the nearer that you get to the halfway line. Okay? Pretty expensive, but very reasonable compared to other teams in the Premiership. For instance, I was down at the Emirates Stadium recently, and the cheapest box at Arsenal is £85,000, and the most expensive one is £250,000. Okay? Again, though, that's cheap compared to where I went the day after, when I went to Stamford Bridge, Chelsea, for a box for one season at Chelsea, it cost you £1.2 million. Also at Chelsea, if you have that amount of money, they can look at you and go, nah, you're not coming in. If you've got 65 grand on you, we'll snap your hand off and get you one of them for this season. Don't be worried about that. A number of players do own boxes, as you can imagine. So you've got Carlos Tevez here on this side as well. You've got David Silva, Sean Phillips, Wayne Bridge. Opposite us, you've got Adi Bayor on this side, just opposite us. And then just behind the goals, you've got Mario Balotelli, Adam Johnson as well. So it's a lovely way for their families to come and watch and play football. If you do win the lottery, do get in contact with us, okay? But always remember me as well. Alright guys, you want to get a quick photo in here? Alright, what we're going to do though now is just jot you down these steps, so do take your time as we make our way down. I'm going to take you to the most comfortable seats in the stadium, okay? Okay everybody, welcome to the director's seating area. This is the largest section in the Premiership. There's 470 of these seats. The people that will come and sit here will be the directors of both football clubs. Players that are injured and suspended that don't own their own boxes will come and sit here. Visiting Premiership and international managers, and also the people that have just had a meal in the boardroom suite will come and sit here. Very comfortable seats, but they are the ones with the shortest amount of leg room in the stadium. Not too bad on the front row. You guys behind will notice the leg room's not too great. The plastic seats have some of the longest leg room in the whole of England for a stadium. If you're sat in them seats and someone wants to walk past, you don't necessarily have to stand up out your seat like you do at other football grounds. Sometimes you can move your legs to the side and the person can walk in front of you. So these here are the shortest amount of leg room, but there is an advantage. Pretty comfortable, I think we'll all agree. Fantastic view of the pitch. But also if you look at the button that's on the armrest on the right hand side of your seat, on a match day when you flick that button up, that will actually heat up your seat. Okay, so if you do come to the game, it's freezing cold, always spare a thought for the poor people in the suits here. Okay? Now you know where the height of the running track was during the Commonwealth Games? It was just below level 2. Draw a line with your eyes to where that will meet up to just under here. And from this angle now, you can start to see how much earth had to be dug out and transported out where the temporary stand was. It was an incredible piece of engineering. During the Commonwealth Games, this was track side. This was row A. If you remember the start of the Commonwealth Games, David Beckham and a little girl called Kirsty handed a baton over to the Queen of England to start the games, and it was done in front of the seat that you're sat in today, so that was the Queen's seat. Can you give us a little wave because you're in the Queen's seat? Fantastic, brilliant. Not many people do that.
The right girl to do it. Yeah.
Okay, when the owner comes, Sheikh Mansour, okay, he's only been to the Liverpool game. The reason being he's part of the royal family, so there's a lot of obviously sort of security issues with it. But when he comes, this is where our owner sits, in this seat just here. Alright, so the guy that sits there has got about £20 billion. Give it a rub for good luck. Alright? Gary Cook, the chief executive, will normally sit in that one. I think Mr. Caldoon, the chairman, swapped round yesterday and Gary Cook is sat in that one. If it's a little bit too cold for them, shouldn't really be, should it, with the button that they've got on the seats? But if it is, you can go into the chairman's suite just behind us there. That's where he will entertain his own friends and family that come over from overseas, and they have their own boxes just upstairs as well. Okay, from here I'm going to point out where the away section is. Okay, so if you just look to the south stand on that side, you can see some black netting over the seating in the corner on level 2. You can see black netting just below it on level 1. Count 3 sections across at the bottom, then you've got the skinny little row of seats behind the goals, and then just above it you've got more black netting on level 2. In between there, that's where the away supporters sit. You get, for a Premiership game, they get an allocation of about 2,800 tickets. But for an FA Cup game or a League Cup game, we've got up to 7,500 tickets to get the whole of that stand on that side. The team that's brought the most amount of away supporters is Scunthorpe. We played them in the League Cup about 4 or 5 years ago. Okay? When Blackpool come to play us on New Year's Day in the Premiership, what we're going to do is give them that skinny little row of seats behind the goals because they've got no supporters. Okay? Not really, they get the full allocation. Alright? Alright, now this is high up as we're going to be on the stadium tour today. It's a great opportunity for a photo, the sun's out as well. After this I'm going to take you down to the basement, so as I say it's a good opportunity for a photo. Do take turns in the Queen's seat, it tends to be quite popular. Also you can sit in the owner's seat as well, but I can assure you he's not left his wallet under there. Right, every morning he's never even left me £1. What's that? You are in the Queen's seat. You know who she supports though? West Ham United. It's known apparently. When the stadium was built, we were the only club in the country to give warm-up rooms to home and away teams. Reason for that, as you know, we play football in the winter, so it's not ideal to be doing stretching outside where it's freezing cold, because if you don't warm up properly, you'll probably pull up with a muscle injury once your breath starts to run at speed once the game has begun. Okay? Now we've got a warm-up room on the other side, the only difference being ours is twice the size of this one, and ours is still used as a warm-up room. Now the reason we don't give the away team one anymore is down to our former manager, Mark Hughes. And he came here when he was manager of Blackburn Rovers. Blackburn either used to beat us or get a point here. He thought it was a little bit too easy for the away team to get a training kit on, get nicely warmed up, ready for the game. And he said, why are we providing the away team with a warm-up room? Because when we go to other teams in the Premiership, we don't get one, so why on earth do we give them one? And the people that own the club said, well, you know, it's good facilities for home and away teams, so we'll say what you can do with it, you can scrap it, and that's exactly what he did. And now after the game, our players will make their way into there and get something to eat, maybe a bit of pasta, maybe a bit of stew in the winter, they have stew after the game. Now if you look at the home form for Man City since we changed that room, in the first season that we changed it, we had the best home form outside the top 4 teams, and last year we only lost 3 games in this stadium, 2 of them being right at the end of the season as well. So it definitely looks as if it's working. It does make me think though, what are the other managers doing before Mark Hughes? People like Sven-Goran Eriksson, Kevin Keegan, allowing them to have a warm-up room when we don't get one when we go away. It seems a no-brainer to me. Okay. In our warm-up room, we've got exercise bikes, we've got weight machines in there, and it's got an astro pitch on the floor. Unfortunately, I can't take you in there because it's health and safety risk, obviously, with the little ones and weights being around. But we'll also warm down in hours after the game, whereas the away team have to go outside onto the big pitch there. Okay, I'm going to take you into the dressing room now.